Hey guys, please hit that thumbs up as you're coming in. Hope you're all having a good day.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Hello, hello. Please hit that thumbs up as you're coming in.
We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Look at those beautiful faces.
Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control.
Ready to be home.
Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Hello, hello, everyone. Hope you are well. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate your time. Lots of breaking news right now. Lots of breaking news. Today is May 7th, 2024, 5:52 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Breaking news. Nancy Grace just did her podcast, and Seth passed his polygraph test. Also, the photo that was long suspected could be Sebastian is, in fact, not him. Also, we got the call from Micah Miller, who sadly, it was her last call. She was calling to let people know where her family is. And I'm going to show you all of this and more. It's been a busy day, Ramona. That is for sure. So, first, Nancy has released the video part of Seth. Now, she has released the podcast, which we're going to do this as well. So let's start with Nancy Grace with Seth's podcast. So that is one thing that we can finally get out of the way, that Seth did in fact pass his poly. Okay? So that's done, over with, we know. We also know that not only did he pass his poly, but that is unfortunately not Sebastian. So, in my opinion, all eyes are back on Stafford Court. Katie, where is Sebastian? Where is he? All right. Without further ado, credit goes to Nancy Grace. Link will be provided in the description. Full credit goes to Nancy Grace. We're using this under the copyright section 107 Copyright Act of the 1976 for fair use, criticism, commentary, news purposes, scholarship, research, criticism, all of that. So, with that being said, let's get started. 1 second, I need to put the filter over it here. There we go. Okay.
Remember that moment when I put Sebastian's father, Seth, on the hot seat on national TV and asked him, would he be willing to take a polygraph? He said yes. He did take a polygraph. Straight back out to Seth Rogers. Joining us is Sebastian's father. And now joining us is a renowned polygrapher, Kendall Schule, former head of the.
Exactly. Where is your polygraph, Chris? Where is your polygraph, Katie? Did you take one for Nancy? Looks like the hot seat is yours now.
The entire FBI polygraph program in DC, former special agent with the FBI in DC. He is at Kendall Investigations. Also joining us, Tony Mathis, who is helping Seth Rogers as he walks this very, very rocky path.
He always.
First of all, let me just get this out of the way. This is a yes, no, Kendall Schule. Did Seth Rogers pass his polygraph?
Yes, he did.
Okay, Seth Rogers, tell me about going and taking the polygraph. We want to hear every single word because I've got a stack.
Well, Darzilla says they won't do one with Nancy because they know she will release the results. That's the whole point, Darzilla. That's the whole point. Shouldn't Chris and Katie want to show the entire world that they are innocent? Which to me, again, polygraphs don't mean that much to me. But shouldn't you want to do it?
Of nasty online posts about you failing, about you not going, blah, blah, blah. A lot of trolls chiming in. Let's get to the truth of that polygraph. Seth, what happened?
I showed up early for the polygraph. Mr. Kendall contacted me and told me that he'd be there well before the time that we had stated. So I showed up and I sat in the chair and let him attach those things to me and took the polygraph.
Have you ever had a polygraph before?
No,
Thank you
ma'am.
always.
And what kind of questions did the polygrapher Kendall Schewel ask you?
If I had ever wanted to harm anybody, if I ever wanted to hurt my son, if I had ever hurt my son, if I'd ever had anything to do with his disappearance.
Question. You said they hooked you up. What do you mean by that, Seth Rogers?
This has been a long awaited, right? Long awaited to to get these results. Also, it has been long awaited about the photo of, is that Sebastian? We know Sebastian has a twin out there, right? He's definitely got a doppelganger. It's sad that it's not him though. You know, that would have been the greatest story ever. Susan Sebastian Strong, absolutely, Susan. Thank you so much for 2 continued months, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we were all hoping it was him.
They put things on my hands. They wrapped cords around me. Um, they had a blood pressure cuff on me to measure my blood pressure, measure my heart rate, my breathing rate, things like that.
How long did it take?
It took a minute.
It took 60 seconds. Could you be precise or more
Uh,
precise? How long do you think it took?
we were there for 3 hours, 4 hours.
That's about
3 or 4 hours. It takes a while to do the polygraphs. It really does. Oh my goodness, Miss Curvy, thank you so much, my love. Oh, thank you, Miss Curvy. Love you. Took your dentist appointment well earlier. Thank you, Miss Curvy, and love you to pieces, sugar. Sugar booger. Thank you,
all
dear.
right. It's not
You're the
easy.
sweetest.
Okay, sit tight, Seth. And
Thank you,
again, thank
sweetie.
you for being with us. Out to Kendall Schewel, as I told you, former head of the entire FBI polygraph program in DC. Kendall,
This picture, oh my, right here, it makes me tear up. I don't know why this picture. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve the shit that he got. He really didn't. Being hit. Who hits an autistic child? Who hits an autistic child? Linda, I just use whatever. Just whatever. I did a video recently though. Uh, it's on Hey Sweet Tea. Of
FBI
some stuff
polygraph
though.
program in DC. Kendall, thank you. When we put out the word that Seth Rogers would take a polygraph, we
Thank
contacted
you,
you
Lola.
because of your reputation. You quickly agreed, and I thank you for that. Again, this was not free. He was paid to do the polygraph. He owes nothing to anybody and therefore was not swayed one way or the other. He had never met Seth Rogers before in his life.
You hear that? This was paid by Nancy, and they have offered you Chris, offered you Katie. You said once you was done with the polygraph at TBI, then you would do it there. So who's ready? Don't you think Chris and Katie should do one? You know, I mean, it's going to look really, really bad if you don't do it, Chris or Katie. I mean, if you say you passed the one with TBI, then do it. Do the one with Nancy. It's not swayed, obviously. She's shelling out money for this. No cost to you. You just have to show up.
Mr. Schul, I've looked very carefully at your polygraph report right here. Number one, you start off by saying it was conducted using a comparison question format that meets U.S. government standards. What is a comparison question format? What is that?
Yes, and that is true. Seth paid the polygrapher, not Seth. Yeah, yeah.
It's a format that's well accepted by the polygraph community, particularly the American Polygraph Association. There are certain formats that we can use that are more acceptable, that we know are more reliable. And this was one of those, certainly a test format that I would want to use to make sure we're doing everything right to get the correct results. And this is again a format of polygraph that is widely accepted as a standard in the FBI world and in the polygraph world in general.
Does it mean anything?
My first name
It
is Sugama.
means, I mean, it depends, you know, it depends. I think, you know, for most people, they're normally right than more than they're not, but doesn't mean that they can hold up in court. Now, we're going to listen to Nancy Grace's podcast here in a moment. But first, we're going to talk about a few things. First off, let's go to the WKRN Nashville, and we're going to show you what they have said in relation to this.
We're hearing from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office after a photograph with a rumored sighting goes viral. Now, I want to show you the image. This was taken at a North Carolina rest stop in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Now, some say it looks like the missing 15-year-old from Sumner County. However, after coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, the Sheriff's Office has determined that child depicted is not Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian was reported missing from his Hendersonville home February 26th, and so far there's been no evidence of foul play connected to his disappearance.
No evidence of foul play, they have said. Now, the question is, did they find this person that is in the picture, or was it a fake photo? That's the question. And if they determined it wasn't him, does that mean they're leaning a certain way on what may have happened? Do they know more than you and I, which I'm sure that they do? But do they kind of know more in what may have happened? Now, Nick Barris, 3 hours ago, said the following. One second, let me take this little thing off here. And he says the following. Photograph, not Sebastian. I now have official confirmation the photograph taken of a teen at a visitor center in North Carolina last Saturday is not of Sebastian Rogers. The 15-year-old autistic boy disappeared from the Hendersonville, Tennessee, more than 2 months ago. The boy in the photograph very much resembled Sebastian, but it was not him. Here is the statement just sent to me by the Sumner County, Tennessee Chief Deputy Eric Craddock. Now, yesterday, I believe, Nick, was it yesterday or the day before? They had still not had any answers on whether this was Sebastian or not. And he told Nick that he would get back with him as soon as they find an answer. So they had to find an answer either today or yesterday. Now, the following statement, the official statement, is we would like to provide an important update regarding the recent photograph circulated in the connection with the search in Sebastian Rogers. After coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, we have determined that the child depicted in the photo is not Sebastian Rogers. We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it raised. Our collaborative efforts with law enforcement continues unabated as we remain committing to finding Sebastian. We appreciate your cooperation and support in disseminating this update to the public. This is the first official statement issued by authorities on the photo, which has generated so much attention. Apparently, just a look-alike. So how did they reach this conclusion? Question mark. Authorities using security video from the visitor center were able to track the boy in the photo and his family. They made contact and determined it was not Sebastian. I certainly understand why the citizens snapped the photo and authorities took it seriously. They investigate all potential leads. Hopefully, tips will continue to be called in to 1-800 TBI find. With that in mind, authorities say if you see something or take a photo or have new information, please call it in immediately. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to track the lead down and share. Okay. So this is and was a real photo. A real photo of Sebastian Rogers. Do the decent thing, Katie and Chris. Tell the authorities where Sebastian is. I want the parents of that child to say it is their child. They don't have to give their names. I mean, I understand. But they're just living their lives. They were just living their lives doing a wholesome little thing that families do, right? This isn't a conspiracy. This is law enforcement stating this. We have to have faith. That is true. They did. Yes, they did track the family down. They made contact and it is not Sebastian. So, there is that. There is that. Now, before we get into yeah, and here's the official statement. I'll let you see it. And this is from Chief Eric Craddock. That is the official statement if you want to see it. Okay. So, all right. So there is that. Can you believe losing your kid and they act this unbelievable? I've seen a lot of things. I mean, seen a lot of things. It is interesting. Okay, before we get to the entire podcast, I want to take 1 second and talk about Micah Miller, who unfortunately it appears that she took her own life. She called 911 prior to her going missing. And I want to give a trigger warning about this because it may be triggering to some folks. Warning, the following content is for mature audiences. It may be offensive or distressing for some viewers. This channel is a commentary channel related to true crime pertaining to real life events. Each true crime story discussed on this channel has been researched from a number of various sources, including FOIA requests, articles, news, interviews, and more. Links may be provided in the description of various sources. Let us all remember the real human element to each individual. All right. With that said, here we go.
Robeson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
In National Park,
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
Let's see.
I have my location on, I think, on my phone.
You know, when I hear this, I just want to. Why are you? YouTube does ads, Sky Maiden now they're doing ads on even paused videos or something. I don't know. But I want to just stop time and reach in there. This is Micah. And just be like, please don't do it. And maybe there's more to this 911 call, but she tells what she's going to do. And the 911 caller she doesn't like try to talk her out of it or anything. She's just like, you'll see.
Find my phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, hold on 1 second.
After this,
I don't think you are in
I'm going to read you letters that he wrote, Micah.
Robeson County. Yeah, the Lumber River State Park.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Now listen to
Okay,
what the
ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
okay, ma'am, let me get that location of where you're at, ma'am. She's buying time, the dispatcher. Okay, maybe I'm being too difficult. I don't know. All right, I'm going to read you a letter. I'm going to read you two letters of what JP said. Hey, Micah, I hope you're doing well. I'm ready to be done and move on and heal and find a first lady who won't treat me the way you are. I really hope you do great things. I was willing to do anything. I even had the amazing desire to have kids since you're not on meds. And I want to apologize for the flowers and fruit. It was already paid for last until your birthday. Feel free to give it all away. I sent that to you before I found out all the things that I have recently found out about you and what you've done, and you disgust me. So please, let's meet soon and be divorced and let this nightmare be over with. I'm enjoying all the African missions, and Pastor Jumba and all the pastors' wives are so excited for what we're doing. We expect 120 kids our first semester. I have about 10 to 12 people going this time, including Kristen and Tom Winslow and Becca, Jonathan, etc. And I need to move on ASAP. I need a woman who will respect me and love me and be worthy of all that being a first lady that is all about. He truly tormented her. He truly tormented her. And so many people with mental illness will stop taking their medicine. That's true. She might have been buying time, which is what I see you said. That's true. Um all right. So with that being said, no, this was before. Before. It's one of the letters. It is such a tragedy. Okay. So this was released today. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Polygraph. Tonight, where is missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
A woman rushing to meet family at the Visitors Center in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina takes a photo of the area and the people hanging around. When she takes a closer look at the photo later, she realizes that a boy in the photo bears a striking resemblance to Sebastian Rogers and contacts authorities. Investigators have been trying to locate the person in the photo. The sheriff's office confirms that they have reached out to
Can y'all hear it?
North Carolina authorities about the picture, but so far, nothing credible has resulted from their inquiries.
Tonight, a mysterious update in the search for a missing autistic boy as a woman shares a photo of a little boy bearing an uncanny resemblance to missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers. Joining us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we are hearing. But first, I want to go straight out to Sebastian's father joining us, Seth Rogers. You can find him at hashtag Sebastian Strong. Seth, thank you for being with us. Seth, I was stunned when I saw the side-by-side of Sebastian and the boy spotted at the guest center. What do you make of it?
When I saw the picture,
I agree.
I turned around and loaded up the vehicle and off to North Carolina I went.
Now remember, this was filmed before we found out that this is not Sebastian. So just remember that.
Lauren Conlon is joining us, investigative journalist and host of the Outlier podcast. Lauren, thank you for being with us. What can you tell me about the sighting? Because the authorities are not saying it's not him. They are saying, quote, nothing credible is pointing to the sighting of Sebastian. In other words, they haven't been able to confirm it yet. Remember, this is like a rest stop, a tourist center. People are visiting there that could live in any of the surrounding states.
Absolutely, Nancy. And I think what's important to note here is that North Carolina authorities have not identified the boy in the photo. So as of right now, it's still considered a potential lead.
Guys, joining us is Seth Rogers, Sebastian's dad, and Lauren Conlon, host of Outlier podcast. Seth, tell me what went through your mind when you first saw this photo. And when you compare them side by side, it's really uncanny.
My son's alive. Then he looks good in the picture. I mean, he's got clothes on, he's got shoes on.
Do you recognize the clothes?
No,
I don't think Alaska.
How about the shoes?
Don't recognize those either. They look brand new.
Yes, they do. In fact, the clothes look new as well. How far away, in your estimation, Seth, is this rest stop tourist attraction area from?
Well, they know who this person is. They track down his family, and they know it's not
Sebastian's home.
It's about 6 hours.
But just remember, keep in mind that this was recorded before they knew that it is not Sebastian. It came out today, but it was recorded prior.
How did you become aware of the sighting, the alleged sighting?
People started calling me and asking me about the picture, and then people turned around and started sending me the picture.
And again, what went through your mind when you first saw it?
I gotta go up there. I gotta see, the picture's there. I wanted to go see the footage.
I think that was, I feel really bad for Seth right now because he's broken. He is, I think that was the last bit of hope. He's going to work next week. Next week is when he starts. Or maybe it was this week. It's this week or next week.
Because I figured there'd be some type of surveillance.
And did you go?
I did. I drove up to North Carolina.
You took the 6 hour plus ride to North Carolina to investigate this photo. And what, if anything, did you learn when you got there?
That I wasn't allowed to see the video footage.
Why?
I was told it's an active investigation, so I'm not allowed to see it.
Who told you that, Seth?
People at the park.
Mods, please post a membership link for Mrs. Jinx, please. Mods, post a membership link for Mrs. Jinx, please. Thank you.
It's my understanding the woman who took the picture was also convinced that this looked exactly like Sebastian and handed it over to the TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and then later it was posted online. Is that your understanding, Seth?
Yes, ma'am.
Seth, when you saw this picture, how did it make you feel?
Gave me hope. It rekindled what hope I was losing.
I am muted. Damn it. For those of you that's just joining us, I just wanted to let you know that Seth has passed his polygraph. Seth has passed his polygraph, and that it is not Sebastian Rogers that we thought could be him. So we need to know, Chris and Katie. Nancy is saying she'll pay for your polygraph. You ready to do it? You said you would.
Seth, I'm looking at the way.
Oh my God, Jinx. Thank you, baby. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you, my love. Thank you, sweetsies.
The boy is standing in this photo. I know you've looked at it a million times.
Welcome
He's
to the
got
family.
his right arm somewhat over his stomach. And I'm wondering, does this pose look familiar to you?
By the looks of it, he's stepping down off the rocks and stuff. He's looking at where he's going.
Yeah.
But he's also been missing for 2 months. So his demeanor and everything could possibly have shifted.
In what way? Why do you say?
Yeah, I mean, we know Seth was at work, right? We know he was at work. But Katie, what about you?
Say that.
I haven't heard from my son in 2.5 months. You know, if he doesn't have a phone with him, you know, he hasn't heard from me. If somebody convinced him to go away and won't give him a phone, I don't know. I mean,
Let me ask you, Seth, is it correct that your PI that you had to hire, which is a whole nother can of worms, spoke to the person that took the photo?
no.
Woohoo! War Eagle, thank you so much, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yo, yeah.
Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome to you and Jinx. Thank you both so much. Appreciate you, my dears.
My other PI, Chloe, she's the one that spoke with him.
I couldn't hear you. What?
The other PI on the case, she's the one that spoke with them.
So a PI on the case did speak with the photographer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did the PI learn?
When she took the picture and why she didn't call 911 immediately, and what she did when she reviewed the picture, and the fact that she asked why she put it on social media, and it was because she stated that it was because TBI didn't get back with her after she had submitted it.
What else did you learn? Why did she decide to take the picture? And what else could she tell you through the PI about who this boy was with?
Nothing.
What was he doing? Was he crying? Did he look hungry? Was he with a man or a woman?
The individual that took the picture was actually her husband that took the picture, because he was faster with his phone than she was. And they were driving by and he took the picture. And then when they were able to look at it, they submitted it to TBI. They didn't hear back from TBI that they had received the picture or anything else, so they put it out on social media.
Guys, the photo we're talking about.
Yep. Chris and Katie, they just sit there in their RV. Sit there in their RV. Doing a hell of a lot of nothing. Katie's not even working now. Katie just sits there all day. Not looking for a child. Not putting up flyers. not doing anything. Yep, they never respond or say anything. Nothing. What parent does nothing? What parent does nothing?
To Lauren Conlin joining us. Lauren, exactly where is this rest stop or tourist attraction?
So it's in North Carolina. It is the Blue Ridge Mountains Visitor Center. And like Seth said, Sebastian did not appear to be in this photo. And I think all of us are very hopeful. And I think it's amazing that Seth went to North Carolina and drove 5 hours from Tennessee.
Back to Seth. Did the man or the woman see who the boy was with?
No, they said they didn't even know if they were with the group or not. They didn't know if the lady was with them.
What lady? The lady in the pink shirt?
Yeah.
Did he emerge from a car?
They just saw him as they drove through where they're at right now was like the parking lot is behind there.
So.
Right in front of there is the entrance into like the gift shop.
Yeah.
So him being there's no way to see if he was getting in or out of a car right there.
So he was on his way into the gift shop, Seth?
That's the direction that he's heading.
Oh, I don't think YouTube has run this case. I think there's people that's created drama around this case of how others speak about the case and all that. But, you can't, YouTubers can't get through law enforcement. They can't get through TBI. There's nothing that we know about the investigation. So I don't think when people say, oh, they've run this case or whatever, how does a YouTuber get through what the TBI knows? We actually put his face out there. We actually keep this case in front of everybody. That is where the doors are. How did they drive by? That is where the doors are. What do you mean, Mohawk?
Well, that seems to me that there should be gift shop surveillance video or at least other witnesses. So is that the surveillance video you were trying to get, Seth?
Yes, it was.
Now, we know that a statement has been...
You keep your pockets getting bigger. Yes, we work really hard. We do.
Issued that, quote, nothing credible is pointing to any sign of Sebastian. That's pretty vague. Nothing credible is pointing to any sign of Sebastian. That's incredibly vague. It doesn't say this picture is a hoax, this picture is a fake, this is not Sebastian. They're not saying any of that.
That's exactly right, Liplock. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. We have nothing, zero, zilch, nada to do with the judicial system. Nothing.
What do you make of that response, Seth?
That they don't know what to say.
Joining me, guys, also is Irv Brandt, renowned investigator, former U.S. Marshal Service International Investigations Branch, and author of Flying Solo, Top of the World on Amazon. Irv, thank you so much for being with us. Now, this is...
Absolutely, I see you. If he can help find missing kids and take it out of his of his household budget and sit and do research and everything all day long, then and pay his bills, then absolutely, I believe he should serve. And if they can do it better, critics can do it better, then please do it better. It's talking about anyone else. That's what doesn't help. What helps is putting the face out there, talking about it. keeping it on the screen, the case on the screen. That's what helps.
It's a conundrum. If this boy is Sebastian the way his father thinks that it is, I mean, look at it for Pete's sake. Look at the side by side, the chin, the jawline, the nose, the hair.
Oh,
It's uncanny.
no, Giselle, honey, you're always welcome here, darling. What's wrong? Giselle's a sweetheart. Listen, I mean, you can be 100% for the Proudfoots. That is absolutely fine, because your opinion and my opinion is not going to change the outcome of what already happened to Sebastian and what is going to happen either way. My opinion, your opinion is not going to change what will and has already happened to Sebastian in this case. So you can absolutely, you can be 1,000% for the Proudfoots and be here. Welcome. Mi casa, su casa. I don't care. We are here for Sebastian. Listen, if you think the Proudfoots are 1,000% innocent, it is a free freaking country. Now, I have my personal opinion, and I will speak my personal opinion, but we are here to keep this case going. It does not change the outcome. My opinion will not change the outcome of what happened to Sebastian before I knew him. Before I ever knew that there was a Sebastian Rogers. And neither did your opinion. And my opinion and your opinion will not change what will happen to this case. You get what I mean? It's not going to happen. What is going to be is going to be, whatever their evidence leads them, or if they find evidence.
It's at a tourist gift shop in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's a needle in a haystack. Brant, what do we do?
Nancy, the video, the picture.
Oh, I'm fine, Emma.
The way I see it, and if the father says that's his son, that's good enough for me, of course. But the investigation is going to center around trying to get anyone that was there at that time, maybe looking at video of the parking lot, running down tag numbers, trying to find other witnesses, other people that may have been shooting video and inadvertent.
You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. Sometimes we all read things and take it a different way than, I mean, I've been up here before and someone has written something in the chat and I read it wrong, or they don't put a comma or whatever. And yeah, so. Oh my God, shut up. Oh, you know what? This is my channel. You don't shut me up, okay? I shut you up. So you just click that little X is what you do.
Certainly captured his image on their video. I can imagine that the police are just, the investigators in this case from multiple agencies.
You don't want to be here? Miss America wave, mother chicken.
Are just searching all different kinds of avenues, looking for clues. And when they make a comment like no credible evidence so far, it's basically like saying no comment on the investigation. They don't want to say either way, but I would imagine that this is a crucial piece of information to their investigation.
Well, to me, and of course, I'm just a trial lawyer, the first thing I would do is pull that surveillance video, the way Seth Rogers described, and I would go in and look for every single receipt. At the time that picture was taken, and the photographer gives us the time and the date that it was taken, every single receipt. Then I would find out if there's any surveillance video in the parking lot. Just find out if he went to a car, which obviously he did. What car? It's got to be on surveillance video. Agree, disagree, or rant? I mean, you're the former U.S. Marshal going all the way around the world finding people. What do you do next?
Nancy, I agree. I mean, the car is the most critical thing. If you can identify the car that he got out of, even if you don't have a tag number, the make and the model of the car would be just crucial to send out a bolo to the surrounding states, then potentially finding witnesses at that time, like you said, checking receipts in the gift shop and interviewing people that were there at the time. You know,
that's right, Emma.
Something that they may have seen.
There is no right or wrong answer at this point because none of us know. None of us know anything. The only thing we have about this case is opinions on what his Chris and Katie and Seth have said. Oh, goodness, Betty, I'm sorry.
An autistic boy may stick out in their memory, you know, seeing him, and they may have, you know, looked at that person, at that boy, at the people that he was with.
No, someone just told me to shut up just a second ago. Listen, I would never watch a person I don't like. Oh, Daily Honey, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you, baby.
And if a skilled investigator asks the right questions to these people, it can lead to crucial leads in this case.
I still say it's a needle in a haystack, but a needle can be found in a haystack. Seth Rogers with us, Sebastian's dad. Seth, when you look at these two photos side by side, I was looking at the nose, the chin, the jawline, the demeanor, the hair. What looks similar to you?
All of the above.
Sorry, I keep pausing it, guys. Christina, yeah, they didn't say who the family was, but they said they identified him, and yeah, they told me, "Good Lord, shut up," is what they said. This is my channel, right? Why would you, it's like I don't go to anybody's chat I don't like. Anything.
No, I mean the way his hair that comes over. I mean,
what do you mean by that?
Everything on there just screams my son.
What do you mean by that? His hair, because his hair goes in the same direction. My son has a cowlick in a certain spot on it.
Oh, Giselle, thank you, darling. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate you so much. For 5 memberships, we have to do an application process for that, though. So get ready.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop is
Mother
Fulton
Chickens.
Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Congratulations to the 5 new members. Thanks to Giselle. If you received a membership, please thank our sweet Giselle. Congratulations. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, my love. Appreciate that, Giselle.
His head.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, his hair tries to part in the middle. Since he was born with no hair, but you could see kind of like a little part in the fuzz. And it's been that way forever. And I'm looking at the way this boy's hair is going over toward, yeah, it's the same as Sebastian's.
It looks like my son.
Nancy Jackie Howard here. The local sheriff says the boy in the photo is not Sebastian.
Seth, one more time. Do you believe this photo captured in the Blue Ridge Mountains is Sebastian?
Right there.
Straight out to Tony Mathis, who is helping Seth Rogers in this.
And that's a true statement, Mohawk. It has been over 2 months since Seth seen him. He just wants his son home. Any hope is better than no hope. And honestly, we forget. Thank you, Nice Marie. Thank you, my dear. And I have the best people. 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over. But we forget faces, even the ones we love, very quickly. We think we keep an image in our mind, but it also, we lose that. So it's different, you know.
This very, very difficult time of need. Tony, question. You've heard
You
the
two love one
response
another,
of
honey.
LE law enforcement. Quote, nothing credible is pointing to a sign,
Love
any
one another. Good
sign
night,
of
honey.
Sebastian. What does that mean?
Well, I'll tell you what it means to me. It means that it's a plausible deniability statement. It gives them an out if they do indeed find it to be him. It's just a very vague statement. You know, there's a lot of ways to deliver that information that would get people to believe that, yes, it's him, or no, it's not him. And I don't think that delivery did anything to assure people one way or the other.
With Hardee's
Yes, ma'am.
We all remember that moment when I put Sebastian's father, Seth, on the hot seat on national TV
Exactly,
and
always.
asked him, would he be willing to take a polygraph? He said yes.
This interview came out today, Jane. It came out today. However, it was done previous to us knowing that it was not Sebastian, which we just found out just a little bit ago. If anyone gets a chance, ask Chris, how long did Katie drive? She says she just drove around the streets. People always say Patsy Cline is my I love Patsy Cline. Oh.
Yes. He did take a polygraph. Straight back out to Seth Rogers. Joining us is Sebastian's father. And now joining us is a renowned polygrapher, Kendall Schule, former head of the entire FBI polygraph.
So this is actually what you're listening to is the actual interview that you will see tonight on her show. They put it out on her podcast first, and then either tonight or tomorrow they will drop it in a picture form. We're listening to it right now, just the podcast. We don't see the picture of it, but this is the actual interview.
Program in DC, former special agent with the FBI in DC. He is at Kendall Investigation.
You know why I believe Katie won't talk to Chris? You're welcome, Brenda. You know why I believe Katie won't talk to Chris? Because Katie knows, Chris knows Katie. She cannot look at him and bullshit him. She can't do it. Won't work. They have a child together. They were once in love with each other. You know that person better than anybody. How long would it take you to search your house? 30 minutes for me? No, it wouldn't take 30 minutes for me. No, because there's only, what is searching your house, right? looking in some closets, right? Going in, looking around some closets, going in each room, looking under the bed. What else? If they're not in a room, they're not under a bed, they're not, they're not in a closet. I called Seth Chris again. Sorry. I apologize. So I don't think it would take 30 minutes. I mean, like I was stating with Sebastian's room being dirty. Well, there's only two places you're going to look in his room. One is in a closet and the other one is under the bed. That's it. You're not going to look for him in a underwear drawer. You're not going to look for him in your dressers. Right? So you're not going to tear all of that stuff up. So why was the room messy? Was the room messy because something happened in that room? Was the room messy because they were cleaning anything? Or was it just messy because he was messy? And was it messy and then someone saw that it was messy and there was a fight? I would check all closets, behind doors, under beds, and the garage and the vehicles. Yeah. You're going to do it frantically, quickly. What's wrong, Shannon? Oh, I got you, Shannon. Who said the room was messy? Seth.
Also joining us, Tony Mathis, who is helping Seth Rogers as he walks this very, very rocky path. First of all, let me just get this out of the way. This is a yes, no, Kendall Schule. Did Seth Rogers pass his polygraph?
Yes, he did.
Okay, Seth Rogers, tell me about going and taking the polygraph.
All right, so there you have it. Seth passed his polygraph. He passed his polygraph.
Oh my God!
How about that? He passed it. There we go. Oh, we got a new... Thank you, Christina, for 2 months. Thank you, my dear. I really appreciate that. By the way, thank you, my love. Thank you. Brenda, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you. So nice and kind of you. So that's out of the way. So my eyes are personally back on Stafford Court.
I want to hear every single word because I've got a stack of nasty online posts about you failing, about you not going, blah, blah, blah. A lot of trolls chiming in.
Sure.
Let's get to the truth of that polygraph.
What stuff?
Seth, what happened?
I showed up early for the polygraph. Mr. Kendall
That's right.
contacted me and told me that he'd be there.
We've learned two things.
There well before the time that we had stated. So I showed up and I sat in the chair and let him attach those things to me and took the polygraph.
Have you ever had a polygraph before?
No, ma'am.
And what kind of questions did the polygrapher Kendall Schule ask you?
if I had ever wanted to harm anybody, if I ever
Love you,
wanted to
dear.
hurt my son,
Thank you,
if I had
sweetheart.
ever hurt my son, if I'd ever had anything to do with his disappearance.
Question.
You know, those are very broad questions, and he answered them all.
You
He
said
passed.
they hooked you up. What do you mean by that, Seth Rogers?
They put things on my hands. They wrapped cords around me.
Steph stuff.
They had a blood pressure cuff on me to measure
What do
my
you mean,
blood
Steph
pressure, measure my heart rate, my breathing rate,
Steph.
things like that.
How long did it take?
It took a minute.
It took 60 seconds. Could you be
Way it's-
precise or more precise?
I agree. Bauer
How long
thoughts
do you
maybe
think
we
it
should.
took?
We were there for 3 hours, 4 hours.
That's about right. It's not easy. Okay, sit tight, Seth. And again, thank you for being with us. Out to Kendall Schule, as I told you, former head of the entire FBI polygraph program in DC. Kendall, thank you. When we put out the word that Seth Rogers would take a polygraph, we contacted you because of your reputation. You quickly agreed, and I thank you for that. Again, this was not free. He was paid to do the polygraph. He owes nothing to anybody, and therefore was not swayed one way or the other. He had never met Seth Rogers before in his life. Mr.
Let me
Schule,
check.
I've looked very carefully at your polygraph report right here. Number one, you start off by saying it was conducted using a comparison question format that meets U.S. government standards. What is a comparison question format? What is that?
It's a format that's well accepted by the polygraph community, particularly the American Polygraph Association. There are certain formats that we can use that are more acceptable, that we know are more reliable. And this was one of those, certainly a test format that I would want to use to make sure we're doing everything right to get the correct results. So this is again a format of polygraph that is widely accepted as a standard in the FBI world and in the polygraph world in general.
Now, you also state that you used state-of-the-art Lafayette LX6, the computerized polygraph system. And I'm wondering, is that, for instance, when you get on an elevator and you see the last time it was inspected and you see the type of elevator it is, or you take a mammogram and you see the last time it was inspected and the type of equipment, machine that's being used. So you say the polygraph charts were the data was collected using state-of-the-art Lafayette LX6 computerized polygraph system. What is that? And please dummy down for me. I'm just a trial lawyer.
And there are several companies.
So I thought I messaged him just a little bit ago, but I texted the wrong number. So I think I text the right number just now. I didn't save it.
That make polygraph equipment. The one that the FBI uses, the one that I've always used, the one that I believe is the best, is the Lafayette system. There are different versions of that polygraph equipment. It obviously is always has additions and corrections and made to it. And I started out with an LX4, I believe it was, went to a 5, and then the latest state-of-the-art equipment that Lafayette currently makes is the LX6, that of course we keep up with the proper software that's required as well. But
that would be good. Someone needs to go there, like Nancy needs to be on the ground and be like, so Chris, we are here at your RV. We've got the polygrapher with us. We got all the equipment. Will you take this test right now? And I bet you he'll be like, no. Betcha.
But that is the state of art. That's the best polygraph instrument, I believe, that is out there in the polygraph world.
Well, you had me at the FBI uses it. Is that what you said? This is what the FBI uses?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Also, when I'm getting to the end of my technical questions, I like to lay a foundation before I get into the meat of the issue. The polygraph charts were evaluated numerically and globally.
I believe we're
What does that mean?
It means we look at it globally to see if we see any issues.
I believe we're pervy too.
Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like,
Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like,
Law enforcement has advised him not to. Bull crap. Why? Why would they advise him not to, but Katie to do a polygraph and Seth, it's okay to do a polygraph? Please. Law enforcement is not going to advise you anyway, Mr. Foot. They're not going to. Either way. Chris claims told TBI, told him not to take Nancy's test. Why? Why, Chris? For what? For what? That's, yeah, HIPAA.
Snacks, because, you know, he's 15. Snacks.
And snacks. Oh, Morgan, honey.
Because, you know, he's 15. Snacks. Snacks, because, you know, he's 15. Snacks.
Morgan, honey, you're not a distraction whatsoever, my dear. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine, my love. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate that. No, you're not. Just like Katie said, that picture of us at the bike shop was before Sebastian went missing. However, she's just wearing a shirt that says Sebastian is missing. I had secondhand embarrassment for her. I literally had secondhand embarrassment for her.
The collection of the charts, the physiology that's collected, we kind of get an idea, but then numerically means that we actually give a number to each relevant question that's asked, and we give it a plus or a minus. And there are certain scores that we believe have to be obtained in order to either pass or fail somebody, or call them, you know, no opinion. But in addition to that numerical score that I gave, there are also two.
It's hard to get a permanent restraining order.
Scoring algorithms that we use, that the computer has, that scores the charts. You know.
Hey, Candy Cane, how are you, dear? The Proudfoots and Bower Socks are soulless demons, in her opinion. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
That way,
Okay,
and
hold
therefore,
on. Kendall Schul, when you start talking about algorithms, okay, you lost me. I said dummy down. You also said this opinion is applicable only to these questions, not to be construed as an assessment of Seth Rogers' truthfulness in.
I mean, you know, Chris is apparently the favorite one. He's the favorite one. So there's that. What would they do for their little baby
areas.
boy?
That makes sense. You also state there are 3 outcomes. 1, deception indicated. 2, no opinion. And the other is no deception indicated, correct? 3 choices, right?
That's right, Al.
That's correct.
Okay, now, could you tell me What was Seth Rogers' demeanor when he entered your office?
We had a great conversation. Like you said, it took a long time. We sat and talked for a long time. I collected some background information from him to make sure that he's suitable for testing. In my opinion, he was.
Whoa,
then we
wait
went
a
over-
minute. Wait a minute, boss. Suitable for testing. You mean he's not drunk?
Yes, I'm live on 2 channels right now. I'm live on Clutch and live on Hey Sweet Tea.
Drunk or high?
That's
right?
why you
Is that what that means?
see.
Exactly.
Maybe
You know, did
not
you
some
do
of
the
it.
smell test? I've always wondered if
Filling
polygraphers,
in.
like whenever my twins have to go somewhere on a bus or a school event, or even a plane, I always go up and
Thank
speak
you,
to the
Andy.
driver, the pilot, to just get a whiff if they've been drinking. So you assess the participant as to whether they may be drunk or high or on meds.
We do. We observe that obviously, and you know we're in close proximity,
Yep.
talking to each other. If he had any alcohol in his breath, I believe I would have known it. Particularly when I'm attaching the components to him for the polygraph test, I'm right in his face. So yes, I would have observed if he had any alcohol in his breath.
His demeanor, you say, seems relaxed. Did it remain relaxed throughout?
Talking about Seth giving a polygraph. He was not drunk or anything like that. And they're talking about his demeanor now.
Polygraph.
It did seem really relaxed.
Mr. Schul, you conducted the polygraph, and what were the critical questions that you asked Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father?
The relevant questions, as we call them, that I asked Seth on the polygraph test to determine if he was involved in any way in this child's disappearance were, number one, regarding doing anything to cause the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, do you plan to answer those questions truthfully? He responded, yes. I then asked him, did you do anything that could have caused that boy's disappearance who we discussed today? The answer was no. And the third question was, were you involved in any way in the disappearance of that boy who we discussed today? He responded, no.
I am reading your polygraph report details, which we plan to publish. Guys, you are hearing the former head of the FBI polygraph program, Kendall Schul, who polygraphed Sebastian Rogers' biological father, Seth. Now, before you ask these 3 questions, do you plan to answer truthfully? Did you do anything that caused Sebastian's disappearance? Were you involved in any way in the disappearance of Sebastian? Before you ask those, I assume you asked several lead-up questions to get a barometer of how the polygraph would respond to Seth Rogers, correct?
There were what we call control questions. You know, they might be, are we in the state of Tennessee? Is today Wednesday? Those sort of things. And those are the control questions that we get where we know he's telling the truth.
With us is Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father. Also with us is the polygraph.
Probably Chris, in my opinion, wouldn't even pass his controlled questions. Are you a psycho? No. Are you a psycho? Peggy Sue, how do we know Katie or Chris actually took a test? We only have their word that they did. Absolutely. And you know what their word means? You know what their word means, right? That's what it means. That's what their words mean. She lied about, Listen, this woman lied about going to a fucking bike shop. She lied about going to a bike shop. You don't think she's going to lie about anything else? You don't think she's going to lie about anything else? No. She's going to lie her ass off, in my opinion.
Who took the polygraph, Kendall Schule and Tony Mathis, who
The
is
Harley shop.
helping Seth weave his way through this very difficult time in his life. And Mr. Schule, let me ask you one more question.
Yes.
Isn't it true that you attempted a polygraph on Seth?
Yeah, Mohawk, if she actually meant that she was going to... Justin is enjoying that fucking buzzer. Don fucking buzzer. Fucking buzzer. If she lied about going to with the aunts and the cousins, why did she lie about that? Right? If she lied about that, to me, that points to premeditation.
Before this polygraph.
I believe we tried to set one up, and it didn't go through for some reason.
Kendall Schule, again, did you find Seth Rogers to be cooperative?
I found Seth to be extremely cooperative. He did everything I asked him to do. There were absolutely no problems with the interview that we had, as well as attaching the components and getting good physiology to show that he showed no signs of deception on this polygraph. I did a numerical scoring, as we talked about.
Chris would answer a question, and it probably would start smoking, and probably a lightning storm would pop up, and the thunder rolls. That's pretty much if he did a lie detector test.
Before that showed that he passed. I also ran 2 algorithms through the computer that showed that he passed. I even went a step further when I got home and had another retired FBI agent that I knew come in and do what we call a blind scoring of these charts, not knowing who it was, what it was about, whether he passed, whether he failed, and he also agreed with my opinion of no deception.
I do sound effects.
Back to Seth Rogers. This is Sebastian's dad. Isn't it true, Seth, that you tried to take the polygraph a time before this one and it didn't work? What happened?
I was on prescribed medication for nerve. I've got a pinched nerve in my C5 and C6 that caused me pain down my right arm. So they put me on prescribed medication for dealing with pain and trying to get it to relax.
What med was that?
It was cyclobenzaprine, which is a muscle relaxer, and gabapentin, which is a nerve blocker.
Seth, you have been the subject.
Thank you, baby kiss. It's good to
so
see you,
much
honey.
hate online. I don't understand it. I've got a stack of printouts of what people have put on Insta and Twitter and Facebook and blah, blah. For instance, this one says, we had a meeting this evening and one of the moms, her daughter is an intern and works with Nancy Grace. She said a rumor is that Seth failed the polygraph, total fail. And now Nancy's team is doing damage control. Nancy was cussing because she was in a, quote, pissy mad mood. She told them polygraphs are not reliable. And so we have to be fair and say it's inconclusive. Nancy's team was mad. They don't.
Where do people pull this stuff out of their ass?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
How do they do it? I mean, why?
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
I mean, seriously, where do they pull it out of their ass? Jen.
Like him because he was rude not long ago and they refused to cover for him. This doesn't, we don't have an intern, but this doesn't even make any sense. We knew all along from the beginning that Kendall tried the poly, that you were on the muscle relaxers, and you volunteered to do it
Confirmed,
again.
Kevin, not
all
Sebastian.
of this is true.
Confirmed.
This is just one of hundreds of people attacking you. Why?
Oh my God. Peggy Sue, thank you so much.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Thank you so much for becoming a member, my dear. I appreciate you. Let's give Peggy Sue a round of applause. And thank you for your membership, Peggy Sue. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, Kevin. We earlier in the podcast, we showed the official letter stating that it is not Sebastian, unfortunately.
Why? Seth, why?
Why do people get death threats for looking for their kid?
The pants were found. In the last hour's mysterious update in the search for a missing autistic boy, Sebastian Rogers, after a woman shares a photo of a boy that is uncannily similar to Sebastian all the way up in the Smoky Mountains. This as a pair of pants, much like a pair of glasses, are taking center stage. Straight out to Lauren Collin joining us, investigative journalist, host of The Outlier. Lauren, thank you for being with us. Lauren, tell me about the pants.
Yes, so May 2nd, these pants
Girls,
were found
look
by
good on
a
you.
volunteer that was searching, and they were sweatsuit style black, allegedly what Sebastian was last seen in. And authorities confirmed that they are unrelated, but they still said they've received, as of April, over 300 tips, and they are investigating all of them.
Okay, I want to get back to the pants. Did you say they were black sweatpants?
Black and sweatsuit style.
Sweatsuit style color black?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris right now, he's probably mad. He's probably mad. He's probably kicking the door in right now or something. He is probably livid. Seth passed it. Now I've got to get on there and find an excuse. That's what he's going to do. I've got to find an excuse. Yeah, Summer got over 3,000 tips, and there hasn't been near that many tips. Well, thank you, Imagining. Thank you, my dear. Big mad. Yes. I bet she's kicking the door. Anything.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Where were they found, Lauren Conlon?
So it has not been disclosed exactly where, but Goodlettsville, it's 12 miles from Nashville. It's part of Sumner County and Davidson County, Tennessee, depending which side you're on. So it's kind of nearby Sebastian's home.
Back to Seth Rogers. This is Sebastian's father. You can find him online at hashtag Sebastian Strong. There is a GoFundMe to support him in his efforts. He's had to hire a private investigator, and he goes hours and hours and hours, day after day.
Thank you so much, Candy. Thank you, my lovies. Appreciate you. Thank you, sweetsies.
After day searching for his son. He most recently returned from that rest stop we showed you where there was an alleged sighting of Sebastian. That's GoFundMe, Finding Sebastian Rogers Family Support. Seth, what, if anything, have you been told about that pair of black sweatpants?
Big
That
truck.
they are not related to my son.
Do you know where they were found?
I know that they were found at a particular park.
A park.
How you doing, Joe?
A park. Do you know if they were the right size?
No.
Who told you the information about the pants?
I received a text message from the
Law enforcement?
detective over the case. Yeah.
Okay, question. Do you know what condition they were in or if any DNA analysis was done for touch DNA.
So out of every single polygraph that has been taken, we know one person has taken a polygraph. We know one person for a fact that has taken a polygraph, and one person only. And that is Seth Rogers. He is the only one for a fact that we know has taken a polygraph. That's it. That is it. And we know the results. What? I love you trying to get in the shower. You keep making me laugh.
Hair, fiber, anything that relate back to Sebastian? How did they suddenly decide, oh yeah, these aren't his?
They said that the size was wrong.
The size was wrong.
Thank you, Lily.
Wasn't he
Thanks,
last
Lily.
seen wearing black sweatpants as we were told by the Proudfoots?
Correct.
Seth, when you learned that sweatpants had been found but were ruled out according to law enforcement, how did that make you feel? What did that do to your will to keep searching?
And they said that those didn't belong to him. It just reinforced that North Carolina, my son was there.
Sebastian Rogers goes missing. Mother Katie Proudfoot leaves the family home to be with her husband. And
I don't think anybody's been cleared by the FBI. I don't think anybody has been cleared by the
in their
FBI
travel
that I'm
trailer
aware
while
of.
he goes back to work around the Memphis area. While Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, and an army of volunteers continue to look for Sebastian, Katie Proudfoot says she is concerned about leaving, but defends the decision to leave by saying her son could be anywhere and they are looking everywhere. Katie Proudfoot doesn't know when she will return to her home.
Katie Proudfoot has
Yes.
reportedly not gone.
Yes, Joe. Justin, do you wonder if the Proudfoots lied about what he wore, meaning Sebastian? I think that the Proudfoots, Katie lied about what she wore. Remember the bike shop? She's like, oh, that was before Sebastian went missing. Well, you've got a shirt on him or on you that says Sebastian is missing. So, yes, I don't trust anything that Chris or Katie says. Nothing. Zero, zilch, nada.
Gone back to work. We reached out to the Proudfoots asking if they would share their current location. The Proudfoots saying for safety reasons, they are keeping their location private.
Joining us and
Everybody knows where they're at.
all-star panel, Tony Mathis is joining us along with Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers. Tony Mathis, what do you make of the leaving the area and not taking part in any searches?
Nancy, we really don't want to get into commenting about the Proudfoots at this time, but I will tell you that I spoke to Chris and Katie early on, and I do know that Katie was getting a lot of threats, so it was deemed to be better for her safety to go with Chris and go back to where he was working. So outside of that, I don't really want to get into comment about why they did what they did.
To Seth Rogers, Sebastian's dad, what do you make of the Proudfoots leaving the area and not taking part of any searches that we know of for Sebastian?
People have to live with their decisions that they make.
It's my understanding that you are refusing to comment on the Proudfoots.
Not speaking about them.
Understood. And why?
I don't have anything to say about their actions.
Chris is like, I took a lie detector test. Yeah, I took a lie detector test. Yeah, I took a lie detector test. Sure. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, Sure did. Sure did. Sure did. I got it.
I can speak for myself.
Tony?
We have given Chris and Katie our word, we meaning Seth and I, that we're going to keep the interviews focused on Sebastian. We're doing everything we can do to clean up a lot of the mess that's been created the last 2 months to try to refocus on simply finding Sebastian. So we're simply trying to do our part there, Nancy.
And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
And you're headed back to Memphis right now. Are you in your RV right now?
Liar.
I am in my RV. We are not disclosing our current location just because of safety reasons due to the YouTubers, the Facebookers out there that have sent some very heinous, threatening information and things of that nature, threatening to be outside of our house.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. Would you feel more secure? Would you feel more secure in a motorhome or a home? Chris is like,
all kinds of nasty things. So
Lauren Conlon question, to your knowledge, have the Proudfoots taken a poly and are they searching for Sebastian?
Well, Katie Proudfoot announced pretty early on that she did take a polygraph and she passed. As far as Chris goes, I cannot say that. There's a lot of misinformation whether he took one or not, and if he did take one, if he passed or not. And as far as them searching for Sebastian,
that's true, Susan.
they claim that they are working with law enforcement. So whatever that means, that's on them.
To Seth Rogers joining us, Sebastian's dad. Seth, how do you keep going with all of the hate, which I don't understand where that's coming from? How do you even put one foot in front of the other looking for your son?
He's my son. You're not going to stop me from looking for him. The world's full of hate. I choose to ignore it and look for the good. Finding my son is the good.
If you have information or think you have information regarding the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND, 1-800-824-3463.
And there we have it, people. Sebastian, man, I hope they find him very, 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 very soon. That would be nice, right?
I got it like a wrecking ball.
That's Chris when he's using the crane. I'll feel free to be Seth's PR. It's weird them not searching. It's weird to anyone with common sense. Yeah, it is exactly. Yeah. Chris is going to flip on her if she don't wisen up and speak up. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll need to look at both. You think the Lord helped? Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Katie grew up. Your kid is missing. Exactly. Meteor manager. Well, it's not Tim Mullins. It's not Tim Mullins. So that's the good thing. That's the good thing. So there's always that. What else do we got? Can you email me? Of course. I think that's all. Oh, for those of you that want to see this, oops, again, I'll show you this. Dear media representatives, we would like to provide an important update regarding the recent photographs circulated in connection with the search of Sebastian Rogers. After coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, we have determined that the child depicted in the photograph is not Sebastian Rogers. We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it has raised. Our collaborative efforts with law enforcement agencies continue unabated as we remain committed to finding Sebastian. We appreciate your cooperation and support in disseminating this update to the public. Chief Eric Craddock, Sunny Weatherford Sheriff. So do they say no tips have come in for Sebastian? Oh, yeah. Yep, it has 2 ACs. 2 ACs. Justin, I sent an email of Micah in Kenya when she is talking about her life, how she nearly took it. It shows how you was pushed to. Oh, okay. Let's look at that. Also, JLR. During my live stream, Pastor John Paul Miller was served legal papers by a man driving a van with North Carolina plates. The man told me papers are related to Micah Miller. Was that when it, Miss Curvy? Yeah. It has everything. Notes from just a few businesses. He switched to other attorney last I heard. Okay, it wasn't that one. Let me find it. Family met with county deputies Tuesday to discuss the investigation. Officials said her husband, John Paul Miller, was given the opportunity to attend a separate meeting and indicated through his attorney that he would not come to North Carolina to meet with investigators. This is just keep okay. I didn't get anything, Miss Curvy. Huh. I didn't get like a link or anything with that. I don't think. Huh. Nope. Didn't get it. I sent it again now. Okay. Okay, thank you. It says this page isn't available. It says this page not available. Emma, do you mean I'm a narcissist abuser, or do you mean he is a narcissist abuser? Justin, I text you a link of a video regarding Micah eyewitness account. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Moment, a deadbeat dad is caught carrying the limp body of his son Corey, just 6, in
Oh, this is the treadmill. Is that what you mean, Marlena? Okay, it wasn't that one. I'm probably gonna cover that one. Okay, I found it. 1 second. Okay, this is JLR account. Someone he spoke with. Credit goes to JLR. Give me 1 second.
What did
I just set out to go fishing like I regularly do. Set out to go fishing.
and it was a normal day for you?
Normal day.
Did you feel any kind of way that day? Because lots of times when people say things happen, they feel some type of way throughout the day or something that, you know, something didn't feel right about the day or whatever. Let me make sure I'm recording. But did you feel any type of way that day?
No type of way different from any other time. No.
And you got out and you just started your fishing.
Started my fishing.
Good serene day?
Beautiful day. Yeah.
Okay, and so you set up the river. And how long were you out here before you started to hear? I think you said you started to hear some faint sounds.
Well, I got here about 11:30 that morning.
Mhm.
Started fishing.
Okay.
She can call in.
As I decided that I was gonna quit fishing, I came back through. I stopped at what they call a slough or a lake in the river. It's just a lake off of the river.
Mhm.
So I pulled.
Can we hit 1,000?
In there with my little boat. And maybe 5 minutes after getting into the slough, I heard a cry, a faint cry.
What time was that?
Probably around 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
It was broad daylight.
Mhm.
Broad daylight. But anyway, I just kept hearing the cry.
Was it down here or was it when you got in there?
It was when I got inside of the lake. Yeah.
You heard a faint cry.
Heard a faint cry. Heard it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then I stopped. I heard a gunshot. Then and then the crying stopped. And I said to myself, "Oh my God, I heard that."
Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. She heard crying, and then she heard it stop. God, you cannot be in your right mind at that time.
So there was another couple came in on a boat, and I asked them. They came in there because they heard the shot, and I asked them, did they hear the shot? They said yes. I said, well, I heard a crying also, and then I heard a gunshot, and the crying stopped. So I was going to leave, but I happened to look at the end of the lake, and there was a little opening that would take me to the back of that. So I decided just to go in there with my boat, and when I did that,
So sad, y'all.
Michael's belongings laying up on the bank.
Was it this area? Do we know if it was this area?
So I got out of my boat, picked the belongings up, looked at them, put her cell phone was laying outside of the bag, and her glasses also. I picked those up, put them in the bag.
She wasn't on her medicine, I don't think, at the time.
Looked around a little bit, got back into my boat, came back to the landing, loaded it up. I left out. The law was there. I stopped and talked with the law, asked them did they know a Micah Miller. He said, how do you know Micah Miller? I said, oh, wait a minute now. I said, I found her belongings. And I told him my story, about hearing the crying and hearing the gunshot and the crying stop. So he said, well, get out and talk to me for a minute. So I talked to him, and like I said, I told him my story. That's when he told me that, yes, there has been apparently a suicide happened at the river. I said, oh, man, don't tell me that. But anyway, I said, well, how?
She did say that if she found that if she was found dead,
how did y'all know? How did you know that it is? He told me that Michael had called 911, told them she was getting ready to commit suicide, where she was at, and that the reason she was calling them to tell them that she didn't
hold on, what was that?
Where she was at, 911. I said, well, how did y'all know? How did you know that it is? He told me that Michael had called 911, told them she was getting ready to commit suicide, where she was at, and that the reason she was calling them to tell them that she didn't want her parents worrying about her, where she would be at, if they could go ahead and find her.
Okay, keep talking. I just want to I'm going to put my camera on your hands, not your
Yeah, we played it earlier, Erica.
I'm not going to put your face. Just stay where you are. Okay.
Mod, see when Kathy's YouTube was made.
Let me make sure I zoom in. Okay. It's only your hands, okay?
Okay. I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I just don't really want to be. I'm good.
I'm not putting your face on camera. And so when he told you, you said he told you that it was Micah.
Apparently, suicide. That's why they were here.
Okay. And then is that when you gave him the belongings?
Yes, gave him the belongings. Mm-hmm. He laid them up on his truck. They laid everything out on the truck.
Now, you said that you talked particularly.
All right, guys. Got a little bit of breaking news here. What is this? Tell me, explain this. Miss Kirby just sent this to me. This is interesting. This is very interesting. All right, let me take this banner down. Her outfits are different from each other in just 1 hour difference. Why would she change her hair and outfit? 513 Myrtle Beach, Saturday, April 27th at 11 a.m. There she is. It's like a Ring doorbell. Dick's Pawn Shop, 1852 Mr. Joe White Avenue, April 27th, 2024 at that's an hour and 13 minutes different. She changed her outfit? Oh, well, that's true. She was supposed to be going to work. Was this just I think she had her work uniform on and she was going to work. She looks really stressed here. She looks very stressed there. soon as Justin said, "What is this?" I get a commercial that says, "Are you giving yourself enough time for self-care?" Yeah, she did have mental illness. I don't think she clearly, I don't think you can be in your right mind and unalive yourself. I just don't think that's possible. Because if you was in your right mind, at different times we're in different frames of mind. What's going on? Okay, here's my phone number. Kathy, if you want to call in, you can call in right there. 307 228 4906. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, um, you remember when people was jumping off of the bridge, the San Francisco bridge. Now there's like a net or something over it, I believe. But there was everyone that survived said the moment they jumped, they instantly regretted it. Every one of them. You're just not in your right frame of mind at that time. Yes, they all regret it. Yes. 749. 749. That documentary was fascinating. Yes. You're fine, Emma. John took the flowers that were by the church. What was that? Do you know John took the flowers that were put by the church? He took them away. It is. It is. Your heart goes out to anyone who thinks that having no life at all is better than what they're going through. Oh, he's a piece of work, whether he is involved or not. He's a piece of work. There's a documentary on the San Francisco Bridge. Kathy, are you calling in? He was sending her. He was married. Justin, did you see the taxes from the woman that he was sending? You mean the text? Okay, Kathy's not calling in apparently. Okay. I'm so sorry, Candy. I'm so sorry. One of my best friends' father did that, and Another one of my friends, her brother did that. I'm so sorry, honey. It's really sad. It's really sad. You know, we've all been really down in our life, really, really down in our life. And we've all maybe have even thought about it, but it's never worth it. A woman has come forward with text messages from John. I read one earlier, Miss Kirby. She says he visited her restaurant on February 23rd and left his number. Remember, according to court documents, February 23rd is the same day that JPM filed for support maintenance. John Paul Miller. Look at this. Left his number. You sick piece of bastard, you. Was a minor. Oh, he absolutely groomed her. He absolutely groomed her. Okay, this one isn't bad, but that's all you're getting right now. Wow, you're super hot. I love it. Thank you so much. LOL. I think most of the time when I'm in a swimsuit, I'm also in a mermaid tail. Are any of the pics going through? Nope. I'm going through a divorce due to my soon-to-be ex-wife is bipolar and schizophrenic and left town after she got out the mental hospital for the 7th time. I'm also an owner of Crocodile Rocks and Broadway at the Beach. Yeah, he owns partially a bar. Bars. You're the one that put her there, you bastard. Allegedly, one of the girls are youth girls in his church. She said that he in front of a band member and the band member didn't do anything, allegedly. Wow. Yes. Yep. He owns 2 bars. He's a piece of shit. If all the bizarre details will come out, he will be held accountable. I hope. He also started signing over assets. Yes. A pastor and owns bars. Yeah. Yes. Go to the bar Saturday, people. Come to church Sunday. Cher sings, what is it? Gonna love one another till the morning comes. Sing sweet salvation for what we've done. Revival on Saturday. Hallelujah. He was also grooming another 14-year-old while he should be off the fucking streets. He reminds me of the one crazy. Yeah. He's Summer's Army. Womanizer, womanizer, womanizer. That's him. It's that mother chicken. Many churches are cult like nowadays. Yep. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so incredibly much. Thank you so much. I love you all tremendously. I appreciate you. I may be back in a little bit. I've got to do a few things, and I may be back here in just a little bit. Love you. Appreciate you. We found it's been a day. We know that that's not Sebastian. We know that Seth passed his test. We know that Chris has not taken a test from Nancy Grace. And we know Micah's 911 call and her soon to be ex husband is the devil. You're welcome, Maurice. Good to see you, honey. All right, guys. Love you. I will. Oh, hold on. There's one more. There's one more wrecking ball. There you go. All right, guys. See y'all later. We all know Chris played a sick joke on another channel. Yep. That's right. All right, guys. Bye-bye.